In this residential neighborhood of gritty South Oshawa, a modest steeple is the landmark to many at-risk youth longing for guidance and love. The church, in and of itself, is not the destination for these young people, but rather the humble basement belonging to a Christian ministry aptly named the Refuge. This is the story of hope in the Refuge.
My name is Clarence Kiesman. I'm the executive director of the Refuge, which means I kind of do everything from mopping floors to finances to whatever is needed. The formal mission of the Refuge is to show Jesus Christ's love and kindness to the youth of our community through practical and compassionate means of intervention and prevention. Well, what does that mean, right? In a nutshell, it is to be the hands and feet of Jesus to broken, hurting people, just like ourselves, but they happen to be homeless, street, at-risk, or struggling youth in our community.
The Refuge serves at-risk youth aged 16 to 25. This tiny ministry operates in a rented church basement and provides a meal program, career and skills training, as well as support in times of crises, incarceration, and trials. The services provided are as varied as the youth who come through the doors. Housing, counseling, parenting, relationship and wellness programs are available, along with simple services such as a hot shower, laundry facilities, and a food pantry.
I first learned about the Refuge just about two and a half years ago. But I've been on my own since I was 18, so I had quite a gap where I didn't have this support. I get the breakfast, the lunch, dinner every Friday. I also got job experience through here and some employment. And yeah, I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for this place. I have a daughter, so it would be hard to afford enough space for me and her. And I have me and her to feed. So it's really hard with a child.
Some days it's just hanging out, letting them know that in a real way, we do love them and we care for them and we want them to feel that. Other days it may be going to court with them or visiting them in jail. You know, every year we'll see in the range of 450 to 500 different young people, and they'll come in the range of maybe 9,000 to 10,000 times through our doors because it's a place where they belong. I mean, when you understand the histories of the youth who come here, family brokenness is the number one reason. There's abuse, there's neglect, there's physical abuse, there's sexual abuse, there's emotional abuse. They come for community. And this is a sense, a place where, again, I hope they feel loved and nurtured, encouraged, safe and belong, and that they will just grow here and heal from their past.
I attended the Refuge 7 years ago. I battled with prostitution and struggles. I grew with the Refuge. I became in love with the place, and the staff team that dealt with me when I first came have been a very positive influence in my life.
We get to share the gospel at any moment, really. We pray with the youth. We ask if we can pray with the youth. We talk about God all the time. And I love these guys to death. They're my babies. They're my boys, my girls, and we treat them as our own children. My heart stays so full of love and compassion for my kids. That's pretty awesome.
The workers, volunteers, and graduates of this Youth Outreach Center are wholeheartedly invested in the well-being of the young people who come to the Refuge. The staff at the Refuge begin each day with prayer and devotions. The job of caring and counseling isn't easy. And for dedicated and loving staff like Alexis, every young person who comes through the door is special.
The extremes. Oh, you went there. I'm already getting weepy because it's difficult, you know, the extremes are really extreme, you know. There's really high highs and really low lows. So some of the extremes are, right now we have a missing person, and it's really difficult when you love someone, you know, and you're in community with them every day, and then all of a sudden they're missing, and, you know, you fear of, are they being trafficked? Did they run away? did they overdose and you don't know where they are. So yeah, we get to see a lot of really joyful things as well. We spend time with these young parents, and then when they have their babies, they call us from the hospital and they say, "We had the baby, come see."
People who work and volunteer here are probably some of the greatest people I've ever met, because I know there are a lot of people who come here who have had hard pasts and have struggled with some things, and they have never judged me or anybody who I know here. They see you as a person.
These are people just like you and I, people that were created in the image of God, and people that deserve to be loved and give love. People with gifts and abilities and talents, and they're not to be feared. They're just like us, you know?
I have used this place for, I guess it was 5 years, because I started coming here in November of 2012, and I just recently graduated in June. They help you transition from being relying on them, because a lot of people do rely on their services, and they kind of just teach you about your life goals and stuff like that, and they teach you how to budget and live on your own and have less support systems and stuff like that. And they've never totally backed out of my life. Like, they're still there for me if I need them.
One of the things that I would love to do whenever God would see fit is there is a housing crisis, and many of our youth cannot afford a place to live that is decent and appropriate, and they simply struggle to find a place. And I would love to have a facility that is a affordable housing program that will house people with the intention of getting them to market level rent within a 2 to 4 year period. That is a hope and a dream that I hope one day God will bless us with.
But I really hope that everybody who walks through those doors walks out a better person, and even if they help one more person a day, then they're better off, and that person's life has been affected, and hopefully they can go through life and be successful.
My hope for the Refuge is that we can continue to give this organization back over to God every day, because this is His place, and we want to do what He's calling us to do.
So whatever the Refuge has taught me, I want to bring on to the love of people, because I know what the Refuge does for people is right.
I was lost without this place, and then when I finally found this place, it was extremely, extremely helpful. Like, I wouldn't have the winter jacket I have right now if it wasn't for this place, shoes on my feet.
My hope for the youth is that they would feel that love, that they would know value and purpose and hope and dignity, that they would feel community, and that they would have a place to come to express themselves and be heard.